Give it up. We got some production value. We had intro music that worked this time. It was fantastic. Coming out to that song, it was great. My co-host Thomas Bottoms is here. Give a big round of applause for Thomas in the back. As I was coming up here, if you don't know, Thomas is a big gay guy. That's like, I don't know, the most accurate way to describe him. I just try not to make it weird. But he goes, this is my, I'm not going to do a gay list because he doesn't have one. I don't know, I'm not going to do that. But as I'm coming up here, he says, this is my song. And I'm like, oh yeah? He goes, yeah, there's a bar in Kansas City that every time I walk in there, they cut the music and played this song. And I'm like, that is the gayest thing I have ever heard. Only the gays, like, turn people into superheroes like that. Like, Thomas is coming in, we gotta play whatever that song from the 80s was.
Pull up to my bumper. Great show.
Yep. And the title of the song, Pull Up to My Bumper. So, super awesome of that bar in Kansas City. By the way, Thomas doesn't live in Kansas City. It's just a city that I don't know. Man makes a reputation for himself, as do I, as a mediocre host. So that's my reputation. We got DeLorean behind the bar. Give her a big round of applause, slinging her drinks. You're gonna want to take care of her all night, so she takes care of you and gives you a little bit of an extra pour of that watered down liquor. So, hey man, you gotta cut corners. So in this economy, you can't give out fully loaded liquor. It's crazy. No, this is great. My name is Murphy Rowe, and I am one of the producers here at Hound Dog Comedy. Thank you guys all so much for coming out, supporting live local comedy. And to the gentleman in the back who just want to play pool, I'm very, very sorry that this is happening to you tonight. But I promise it will get awkward and people will offend you, and most of the time you're going to have a blast. How about that? Can we say that we're going to have 95% of a great time, and then 5% we're going to be super awkward and sad and lonely, talk about Auschwitz. I don't know, I haven't written a good Auschwitz joke in a while. No, what do I want to talk about? Oh, this is what I want to talk about. I'm an uncle. I love any aunts or uncles out there. Anybody have nieces or nephews? By round of applause. It's great. I fucking love being an uncle because you get all the fun of messing up a child with none of the responsibility to pay for the therapy. It's great. You can really fuck them up. And but you can also tell them the truth. Like I have a niece, and my niece said, hey, Uncle Murphy, is it true that I can be anything I want to be when I grow up? I said, sweetie, absolutely. Absolutely, you can be whatever you want to be as a woman in this world. But just know that the world is going to hate you for trying. It's just women are not allowed to try to be things. You have two options. You can either be fulfilled personally or fit in society. Those are your choices. As a young woman who was born recently. No, don't worry, we made progress. We have a plus-size model in Sports Illustrated. Did you guys hear about that? Yeah! In an advertisement that someone paid to put in there. Sports Illustrated was like, no, we're not going to have fat women in our fucking magazine unless you pay us. If it's that important to you, we'll put it in, but we're not going to give you money. You give us the money. Because that's how society works. I don't know. People are weird about ogling women. People are weird about Jugs and Ammo is still in print. What print still makes money? Everything just gets bought up by parent companies. All the magazines and newspapers are dead. But women with not even naked women, just large-breasted women holding guns, still makes a shit ton of money. No, I don't know. I don't know if I haven't looked at their books recently. I don't know if they make that much money. We got some drink specials here tonight. I think. I'm drinking an ice cold Bud Light, which, if you don't know, tastes like water that makes you feel happy. You know, fills that little If you guys haven't ever tried this, here's the thing. Here's something. You know how they talk about life hacks? Here's a life hack you can try at home. Alcohol is a great substitute for love. It is phenomenal. You can get. I'm glad that we got them shushed for that part. We got them nice and quiet for the first punchline that didn't hit. A lot of punchlines haven't hit. I don't know. No, we got $8.50 beer and shot. You're gonna want to get your hands on one of those because that comes with a beer and a shot. So that's just good economics right there. And then yeah, ask about a drink menu. And the other thing is, if you have a good time tonight, or if you have a shitty time, it doesn't really matter. Go online, give us a Yelp review, throw us a Facebook like at either Hound Dog and or 240 Lounge. 240 is the place we're in. Hound Dog is the show you're seeing. And my name's Murphy Rowe. You can... I don't know. You can come over if you want. I don't know. Like, you can come over. Where do I live? 3125 North Damon Avenue. I don't live alone, so don't go rob it. There's somebody there right now. Like, I saw that Super Bowl ad from the insurance company where I saw the Mayhem guy sell all that guy's shit. Like, I'm not an idiot. Thank you guys for knowing the commercials that I've seen. That's great. No, we got a great lineup tonight. We got a lot of really funny comics, and I'm going to do a real set right now and get the crowd going, and then we'll bring up your first comedian. You guys ready for that? It's going to be great. But I'm going to flip it over, because that's where my set is written down. Because do a lot of drugs, and my memory's not so great. But I do drugs for a reason. And just like before we get too far, guys in the back, I feel like I got to address the elephant in the room. Just like... You're fine, you're great, we love you, but if you can just keep it to, like, you're louder than you think and it affects the comics up here, so just as the host of the show, if you wouldn't mind just keeping it down in the back when the comics are up here, that'd be great. And if you, like, if that's, it shouldn't, like, what are you guys drinking?
I told him to shut the fuck up.
No, I appreciate that. I'm trying to do the same thing, but nicely. No, it's great. What are you drinking tonight, man?
A lot.
What?
Yeah!
There you go. There you go. Can we buy you a drink for hanging out, watching comedy?
Beer that's went beer, cider. It's a lot of shit.
So you went beer, cider. So you want me to buy you like a red wine? Like how much do you want to hate yourself tomorrow? Like.
I hate myself already.
Oh yeah, no. We're all comedians. We are on that page, man. We are right there with you. That's actually exactly what my entire set is about. It's really pretty. You're gonna buy me a shot?
You want one?
Yeah, absolutely. What do I look like? Someone who doesn't want a shot?
I'm in the titty bar in like 2 minutes, so you better hurry up.
Okay, well, if that isn't a ringing like endorsement for you're not that funny, bring up the first comedian. I don't know what is.
Literally.
Yeah, no, literally I am not that funny, yes, that's true. No, but thank you guys for hanging out and watching. But yeah, if they don't serve liquor at the, that's weird, Like, if I don't know. Again, like, that's a big, like, taxes in this, like, they pay... Have you seen that building? It's a gorgeous building, and they maintain it and pay the taxes on it with just paying money to look at naked women. Like, how is that? I'm so... Oh my God, I don't get it, man. I try to get people to look at me all the time. It's terrible. All right, here's what I really wanted to do before we bring up your first comedian of the evening. I'm a narcissist and a pessimist, which means I will never love anyone as much as I hate myself. You know, and that's a weird position to be in when you hate yourself, trying to find love. Like, because as a narcissist, I think I'm a great catch. But as a pessimist, I think anytime someone wants to be with me, there's gotta be a catch. And as a realist, if someone wants to sleep with me, I think I'm definitely gonna catch something. You know, like, there's that old adage, you don't throw good money after bad. There's a similar one, you don't throw good clean pussy at a dirty little prick. You don't do that. And it's weird, it's weird trying to pick up women as a narcissist and a pessimist, because when you're trying to pick up women, you have to be a salesman. You have to sell yourself to these women. And as a narcissist and a comedian, I'm a fucking amazing salesman. But as a pessimist and a comedian, I'm an amazing salesman who has no no faith in his product. Just a shit product. I feel terrible every time I convince someone to buy it. It's like, oh my god. I feel like a snake oil salesman. Do you guys know what that term means? It's kind of an old-timey term that means like selling medicine that like doesn't really do anything. Like a magical elixir, it fixes syphilis and grows hair back on your head. You know, like that type of thing. And like I feel like a snake oil salesman when I try to get someone to sleep with me. Well, more specifically, I feel like a one-eyed snake oil salesman. That's Thank you. I wrote that joke and I was like, that's a really good joke, but I need to explain what that term is first. But it's weird being a salesman when you don't believe in your product. Because I feel like when I'm trying to pick up women, I feel like I work at a retail store that sells boyfriends. And like we're having a big ass, and I'm like one of their best salesmen, and we're having this big ass sale, and my manager tells me, hey, we're having a big sale this weekend on fine upstanding gentlemen. They're going half off, but here's the thing is we only have like 3 in stock, so those are gonna go quick. So Murphy, we're gonna need you to move some other units. You gotta sell some merch, you gotta get your game on. I'm like, all right, boss man, I can do that. So it comes a big sales weekend at the boyfriend retail store, and a girl walks in, she's like, excuse me, I heard you were selling half off fine upstanding gentlemen. And I'm like, oh, actually, ma'am, I'm so sorry. We sold out of those, actually. I'm so sorry. She's like, well, what time would have I had to get here to get one of those fine upstanding gentlemen? It's like, well, actually, you would have had to reserve it by the time you're 16. That's probably when they're all gone. And she's like, oh, wow. Well, I guess we'll just go then. Well, actually, can I interest you in any of our other models? What about the fine upstanding gentleman were you interested in? And she's like, well, you know, he had all the great salary options and the confidence levels I was looking for, and you know, good customer reviews. It's like, well, if you're looking for customer satisfaction and salary, I can show you the 747 Bro. It's a really good model. And she's like, no, I looked at the Bro online, and it doesn't have the substance I'm looking for. And I'm like, oh, and this is when I know I'm in. I'm like, oh, you're looking for substance, huh? I can sell you a model with some substance. Why don't you follow me over here and take a look at the, this is the 649 Comedian. Now, if we're being honest, yes, you're gonna give up a lot when it comes to salary, or emotional stability, or sexual longevity. You know, like you're gonna give up a lot, but here's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of laughs. You're gonna have a great time. You know, you're gonna be laughing, he's gonna be laughing, and here's the thing. If the sexual longevity is the deal breaker for you, this model comes with 24-hour customer servicing. So anytime you don't get where you need to go, just call that 800 number. You can get serviced all you want. And that, what do you think? And she's like, well, actually, I looked at the 649 Comedian online, and a lot of the customer reviews said it has a tendency to self-destruct after 6 months and hurt everyone around it. So I think I'm just gonna go home and service myself. All right. All right, coming to the stage now, your first comedian of the evening. Let's get the energy going. Put your hands together for Andrew Burcastro.
Guys, a lot of people, they say that you should dance like no one's watching. But the problem with that is, whenever no one's around and I'm listening to music, I just start doing this. And then people are like, hey, I said dance like no one's watching. I didn't say dance like you ran out of conversation topics. I don't like dancing a whole lot. So because of that, I don't like to go to weddings, because that's pretty much all you do at weddings is dance. A lot of people like to go to weddings because they get to see people they haven't seen for a while, dressed up real fancy. But you also get to do that at wakes. So that's what's better, guys. Because when you go to a wake, if your younger cousin dies, your aunt's not going to ask when it's your turn. So, much better to go to wakes, guys. I'm probably not getting married soon, mostly because I'm single. So, that's the operative reason, guys. I have dated people before, though. Like, for a while, I was dating this bisexual, and that was cool. Because whenever I would date straight girls, I would only get jealous of half the people they talked to. So... took care of that, guys. A lot of people, they say that you shouldn't date people you work with or whatnot because it'll get awkward. But the thing about me is I'm already going to be awkward. So go for broke is what I say, guys. Yeah, excuse me. I ate something weird. I don't know. My problem with dating, though, is I like my women like I like my coffee, which is responsible for most of my internal problems. So, guys, I'm glad you're okay with that joke, because it's kind of sexist. I want to just say right now that I'm a feminist, so it's okay. People ask me why I'm a feminist, and it's for my future children, because I want my daughter to be successful in whatever career path she chooses, and I want my son to be able to marry rich. So, pretty cool. And I also think that'd be very fun to raise like a trophy husband all the time. To be like, all right, son, 50 more crunchies, you get to watch SpongeBob. And he'd be like, but Dad, I don't want to. And I'd be like, whoa, it's a good thing you're going to be hot because no one's going to marry that attitude. Fix that, guys. I live with people now, guys, and that's pretty cool. Because people are people. But I think, guys, it would not be cool if I was to go live with a turtle. So. I'm sick of you always being late on the rent. Well, that's what's gonna happen. Because I'm a turtle. I don't need your excuses that you're slow and everything. You're just making up excuses. It's not like that. No one's gonna hire a turtle. Hey, don't say that. Remember that time you beat that hare? How'd you do that? I didn't give up. That's right, you didn't give up. I bet eventually if you keep on trying, underneath that shell we'll find a pearl. You're thinking of clams. Why are you still pointing at me? And it's like, why is he still pointing at him, guys? Who knows? Turtles are tough to live with. Guys, I pay my rent on time because I've had jobs before, so that's good. Right now I work as a handyman, and that's cool because before I was a handyman, not enough people assumed I had children while I was in high school. So, take care of that one, guys. Take care of that. But I've had other jobs too. Like I used to be a lifeguard, and I can tell you this, because I used to be a lifeguard, that the butterfly stroke is dumb. If you guys know what the butterfly stroke is, but the butterfly stroke is when you move your arms like this, and your legs like that. It looks better in the water, guys, but it's basically a way to use more energy to swim slower. So let's get it out of the Olympics is what I'm saying, guys. And let's get some medals away from Michael Phelps. Now, I know not everyone's on board with taking medals away from Michael Phelps because he's like an American hero. But you know, maybe you should have heroes that aren't athletes because you're a grown-up. So guys, when I wasn't rethinking society like that as a lifeguard, I was mostly just thinking about mermaids because I was by water. So why not? And guys, I think it's very good that mermaids aren't real. Because if mermaids were real, we'd have to spend all our time harvesting their tears because they cure cancer. And I am not going to let some humans suffer while some mermaids swim all free. So, because we'd have to come up with all types of ways to make mermaids cry. And the only way I can think of is just tell them about how they'll never have the rights of a real person. So, because we don't want a bunch of mermaids voting. Okay? My ancestors did not climb out of the ocean against all odds so they could pass all types of water laws. But like the thing is, like, I don't know how mermaids got started, guys. It's a crazy myth. It's probably like two sailors back in the old days. One said that was like, oh man, I sure wish this fish had some boobs. And the other sailor was like, what are you, 14? And he was like, I am 14 because I'm a sailor in the olden days. So times have changed is what I'm saying, guys. Times change. Speaking of times changing, I've been doing comedy for a while now, a little bit over 4 years. And before I started doing comedy, I always wanted to do it. So I'd like to give you some of my material from when I was 16, performing in my basement for my little sister and my friend Cisco. So here we go, guys. It's 10 years ago. So guys, this Hillary Duff's in the news, right? This Hillary Duff, she had Too Good for Too Long, guys. She's been like rewriting the song My Generation. You hear about this? Changed the words from I hope I die before I get old to I hope I don't die before I get old. It's pretty much the opposite. Someone needs to take this Hillary Duff down a peg. And then it happened naturally, guys. So, it's good. I didn't have to preach that to make it happen. That's what happened when I stayed in my basement. Guys, how about this Barack Obama character, right? A lot of people, they used to say Obama was a lot like Hitler. And I'm glad they stopped saying that, guys. Mostly because Hitler fixed the economy. It's fine though, guys. I can say that joke because my grandpa fought in World War II. He was like the first generation Italian, so it was like he wanted a free trip back to the old country. All he had to do was shoot his cousins. My grandma though, she did not shoot her cousins. She's doing better. She just got back from her vacation to Oceania. And she feels very refreshed. In fact, now she feels like a New Guinea, guys. All right, thanks, guys. It's been fun.
Keep it going for Andrew Bracastro, everybody. Starting the show off hot. Weathering the storm of those two guys. Doing a great job. Keep it going for Andrew with his poster board, presentation. I miss the days when you could do a presentation on a poster board. Those were when you cut out like squares of construction paper and you paste them like a little bit cockeyed over the actual picture or behind the actual picture. Yeah, I knew how to make a fucking poster board in my day. Which I never graduated into scrapbooking. This isn't going anywhere. I don't know why I'm doing this to this next comedian because she's very funny. I feel like I need to get. Wow. I am authoritative. I don't know. It's weird being a white man because people just respect you when they shouldn't. They're just like, they listen up and pay attention. They're like, ooh, he might say something I need to know when I vote. No, he won't. Anyway, coming to the stage next, make some noise because I killed the room for a very funny lady, Erin Weatherin.
Thanks, guys. Alright. During that last set, did anyone else think mermaids don't have the rights of wheel people? Is it because they're part fish or because they're women? Because that thought entered my mind. I have a women's studies degree, guys. Putting it to good use. Alright, how are we doing tonight, 240 Lounge? Alright. The bar area is looking good. Guys, it is fucking cold in Chicago. It is so cold that I had to leave my gloves on at work all day. Here's the thing though, when you're sitting at a computer, like typing on your keyboard in black isotoners, it looks like you're planning a bank heist. Not a good look if you work at a bank. People get suspicious. I learned that today. I think I'm on a list now. Ladies, tell me if this has ever happened to you. I recently realized that my life has turned into one big episode of Sex in the City. True story. I was walking down the street to work this morning and a city bus drove by and splashed me, like all over my tutu, and I was like, such a Carrie. Me and her, same person. That happened. I also drink too much sometimes, like Samantha, the old slutty one on Sex and the City. Which is my bad transition to say that I was drunk last weekend. And I woke up a little hungover on Saturday morning, so I went to the bodega to get a Gatorade or something with electrolytes to help my head. And the guy behind the counter said, you can have the cute girl discount. But what I heard was Jew girl discount, which I took as a bigger compliment, actually. I was like, "Oy vey, he thinks I'm a chosen," pulling out my 3 Yiddish words, like, bubble up. My response was even worse, though. I was like, "Thank you. I'm not actually, though. It's just really humid outside is what's going on." I straightened my hair before I came here. It would be funnier if I hadn't. Hoisted by my own petard. That's okay. Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions this year? Some of you? All right, yeah. I did too. My New Year's resolution was to spend more time with friends. Yeah, and I'm happy to say that we're a month in and it's going really well. I'm like halfway through season 3. Ross and Rachel are about to break up though, so I had to stop because I don't want to get really sad. Talking about TV's Friends on Netflix. 2015 is looking good. I did start doing the MyFitnessPal this year for, I guess I'm trying to lose weight as a New Year's thing. It's fine. I'm doing it all the time at work though. So I felt weird about being on my phone, so I got my coworker to do it too. So now he's my MyFitnessPal pal. So that makes it easier to stick with those goals. I just like saying my MyFitnessPal pal. I need to find a way to work a few more in. I have gained a few pounds lately, which is kind of a bummer as a girl. I don't really think a beer belly is the most accurate description for my body type, though. I think a more accurate term would be pot belly. Thanks for meeting me halfway, Thomas. Mostly because I smoke too much pot and then I eat all of the snacks. Have you ever had a pizza roll on weed? It tastes like melted sunshine, you guys. It's not my fault. It's awesome. It is kind of hard to be a girl these days, though. There's all kinds of like standards you have to live up to. It feels like if you're not a manic pixie dream girl, then you're just another basic bitch. Like, I think that's a really unfair standard to hold half the population to, especially during pumpkin spice latte season, because that shit is delicious. I don't care who knows it.
You should have set up for it.
Alright, fun stuff. So I had kind of a hard day at work today. My boss yelled at me. She caught me texting again. Technically she caught me like looking under my desk and giggling. She goes, "Aaron, I know what you're doing. Your crotch is not that funny." And I was like, "Bitch, you don't know my life. You don't know how funny my crotch is. You got something really clever shaved down there." And when I was texting, she caught me pink-handed, as it were. Thank you for that. To punish me, she put on the worst radio station of all time. Everyone knows I hate it at work. And you're about to too. It's called Coffee House Covers. And it's going to be the eventual soundtrack to my suicide. Like, basically they take songs that I love from childhood, and like by artists like Peter Gabriel, Paul McCartney, Queen. Give them to whatever American Idol reject was kicked off The Voice last week to cover off tempo on an acoustic guitar. That's a Coffee House cover. It's like, I like Dave Matthews and I like Michael Jackson, but if I have to hear Dave sing Thriller off tempo one more time, like, I'm gonna turn some people into zombies. And not like the Vincent Price dancing kind, like The Walking Dead. I hate it so much. I heard the worst Coffee House cover today though, you guys. It was a acoustic slow jam of Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. Do you guys remember that rollicking tune about methamphetamine use from the 90s? Do 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 do. You know the rest. Yeah. Here's the thing. When you slow that song down and acoustify it, it really takes the teeth out of it. Which is ironic. Because that's what meth does when you smoke meth too much. Oh, okay. At least according to Breaking Bad, which is as close as I've ever gotten. Alright, guys, I'll leave you on this. I was cleaning out my closet earlier today, and underneath a pile of broken bra straps and discarded purses, I found my college degree. True story. Yeah, and I'm glad you guys think that's funny. If you can't laugh at a women's studies degree, there's not a lot else you can do with it. So, thanks for helping me justify that student loan debt. Alright, guys, it's my time. My name is Erin. Thank you so much.
Aaron Weathering, everybody! Coming in hot! A couple of things I forgot to mention at the top of the show. Comedians, you get 8 minutes, I'll give you the light right over there. And we are filming it for public access, which is what I call the internet. Because it's the internet before the internet. But we are filming it, so as a comedian, just so you know, if you want to stay in the shot, you got your stool, and you got your mic stand. That's pretty much the shot. And now I know like some dick is just gonna do their whole set from like sitting right here and just ruin our whole. We're live webcasting and we're not. We don't have that kind of technology. We don't even have a big enough boat. I'm glad Mike thought that was funny because he's doing the work filming it. So give him a big round of applause. Trying to help us out, get us on the interwebs so people see how fucking goddamn funny we are and how little we make the audience laugh at the same time. I don't know. They are recording? Oh, they're not. We're gonna add the laughs in later, and it's just gonna be me doing my laugh in different pitches of it. Ha ha ha! Hee hee hee! Ho ho ho! And just loop that through in different. That's how TV's made, you guys. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. Aaron, I actually I have a women's and gender studies degree too, and yeah, that's not the joke. My joke is that it's from Catholic University, which is kind of like taking a cooking class from someone who suffers from anorexia. You know, like they might be technically qualified to teach the course, but they're not drawing their examples from real life experience. You know. All right, so coming to the stage next is a funny lady who has all sorts of real life experience to draw from. Put your hands together for Natalie Nimarella!
Oh, that's fun. That was a fun song. Oh, hi, how you guys doing? Good. My old idiot parents, they live in Florida. They are divorced and married to their second spouses, but they live in the same town in Florida. So that's not really the story, but it's a funny little part of it too. So every year I go down there for about 2 weeks around Christmas, and I spend like a week with each of these idiots. And every year it just reinforces my retirement plan, which is suicide at 55, because it does not get better, and also I can blow all my money right now on cocaine. So it's a good plan. I'm sharing it with you because you look like you might need it too. My dad and his wife Vicky, they like to be called Nick and Vic. They have matching golf carts. One says Vic and Nick, and one says Nick and Vic, and then they know who's supposed to drive that cart based on where the name is. That doesn't make you want to kill yourself, the fact that they sit in matching recliners with airplane neck pillows on all day, every goddamn day, listening to Fox News. That ought to do it. They sit in recliners that are already super comfortable. These recliners are not, by the way, not on an airplane in my father's living room. They are just on the floor with airplane neck pillows. Because their lives are so bad they can't even hold their fucking heads up anymore. About 6 hours into watching Fox News, I just lay down in the corner in the fetal position and just rock myself and say, the mark of an educated man is to entertain a thought without accepting it. The mark of an educated man is to entertain a thought without accepting it. Since it was Christmas, they did a special Fox and Friends Home for the Holidays. And you got to see Tucker Carlson's house, which was great, because until then, I had no idea how much fear, racism, and hate-mongering you could fit in a stocking, and now I do. But I got them back. It was okay, because I made them rent Sex Tape from Redbox. Has anyone seen Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz? That movie is fucking filthy. That movie is filthy. And we just watched it, and I got out a notepad. And every time they did something really dirty, I would just make a lot of notes and go, that's how you do it. I've been putting my leg in the wrong place this whole time. My mom's house isn't any better. It's a little more fun, but they are also crazy. Her husband, my stepdad, he DVRs The Price is Right. what kind of monster DVRs The Price is Right? It's been on 5 days a week for 50 years. It's the same show every damn day. There is no reason to do this. He tapes it at 11, sometimes he watches it at 1. He wasn't doing anything at 11, he could have just watched it. But frankly, the fact that he has to watch it every day, and the idea of missing it is so upsetting to him. He has to DVR it. To be fair though, he was recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so maybe he really just doesn't know the price of everyday household goods. Speaking of the holidays and being with family and watching those marriages, and then I do like Friends Thanksgiving and I see all my friends and their marriages, so especially around the holidays, but really anytime. I'm around a lot of people and like, couples and marriages and stuff like that. And I am 8-ball. I am absolutely a feminist. I always have been. I have no problem using that word, but I want to make everyone happier because I'm also like a people pleaser. And ladies, I just want to tell you something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You just need to shut the fuck up. Your husband does not give a shit about the things you care about. And the sooner you realize that, the happier you are gonna be. I saw my mother in the kitchen pull out a can of pineapple, and I swear she had to take a knee. She couldn't, because her Alzheimer's riddled husband got a can of crushed pineapple instead of sliced pineapple, and Christmas was fucking ruined. I had to take a deep breath. It's crushed pineapple. If you want a man who knows the difference between crushed pineapple and sliced pineapple, get a gay best friend, because your husband doesn't fucking care, okay? You ever seen a straight man, well, do anything really, but you ever seen a straight man go shopping? You ever seen that? It's like, they don't, send them out for toothpaste at Walgreens. They're just gonna pick up the first thing they see in a tube, like, I brush teeth with this. Next thing you know, your brush uses the Vagisil for like a month, okay? They don't give a shit, okay? You're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Don't send them out for cornmeal or cornstarch. They don't know the difference. Baking soda versus baking powder. They have no fucking idea and they don't fucking care. A charger versus a placemat. I literally saw my friends have a meltdown on Thanksgiving because he wanted to use a charger, which is a large plate that goes under, okay, whatever. I don't care, and I'm a woman, whatever. Straight men don't give a fuck about this, so stop it. He loves you, maybe he'll put up with this, I don't know. But you've got to stop because he just does. You can care about it, don't expect him to, and don't be upset when he doesn't, okay? That's just my advice. I'll leave you guys on a lighter note that's not about how relationships are futile and your parents are old and they're gonna die and everything's terrible. I think we can all agree I have great hair, so there's that. Everywhere there are craft cocktails. Have you guys, every bar you go into, not 240 Lounge, because they fucking refuse. They won't do it. But I just love craft cocktails, because I love to hear Columbia College dropouts in old-timey vests with arm garters talk about bitters for 3 hours. I love it. Do you guys love it? So, you like that one, Mike? I made a couple recipes so that you guys can save yourself some time and some money and just make your own craft cocktails at home. So it's great, especially now with the snow, you're staying in more maybe, things like that. So here's a couple recipes, write them down, have them at home. They're delicious, I promise you. The first one is called a jelly donut, and that is a hand sanitizer and sweet vermouth served in a highball glass, and then right before you drink it, I punch you in the nose. You can make yourself a dirty Sanchez at home. It's a tequila-based martini with 100% agave tequila, rosewood bitters, and then right before I serve it to you, I put my finger in my butthole and I give you a poop mustache. You can have a donkey punch, which is just Malort in a heavy ceramic mug and I just throw it at the back of your head so you pass out and you don't have to drink it. The snowball, which is perfect for this time of year, is rum chata and Orajel, served in a cordial glass. But instead of you drinking it out of the glass, I put it in my mouth and spit it into yours. And the last one, and I'll leave you with this, I hope you're writing these down as my favorite, it's the Hot Carl. And it is a single batch whiskey made in my grandfather's bedpan, heated to 98.6 degrees over an open hobo trash can fire, and then I dump it right on your chest. Thanks, 240 Lounge, you guys have been a lot of fun.
Keep it going for Natalie Nimarella, everybody. We are filming a thing this Saturday, and I was super excited about it, and now I'm not because drinking is also involved, and I'm super scared to drink with Natalie Nimarella because most of her craft drinks involve physical abuse, which is great. That's most of my drinks involve physical abuse as well. Coming to the stage next is a very funny man. He is a Hound Dog Comedy regular. He's the staple of the show. Put your hands together for Phil Burns coming to the stage.
Thanks, Murphy. Where's Natalie at? You were talking about straight guys don't know how to shop?
Yes, especially you, Phil.
I'm sorry, but my 4 wives hated me when I went to the grocery stores with them because I took my time to get shit that we actually needed.
I stand corrected.
No, you're sitting corrected. But I hear a lot of comedians talking about depression, going to therapy. Now, growing up, I had a fucked up childhood, but I never had to go to therapy because of it. One of the instances was when I was 3 years old. My mother took me trick-or-treating dressed as a little girl. Yeah. And everybody she ran into would always say to her, "What a cute little daughter." If I had remembered that a few years ago, I'd probably either become a psychotic serial killer or gone to therapy, or both. A couple years later, she took me trick-or-treating. She only came around for holidays. A couple years later, she took me trick-or-treating dressed as a black cat. Yeah, the whole black cat outfit with the tail, right? No mask. Instead of a mask, she put makeup on me. The whiskers, the circles around the eyes. I look like, I don't know, a fucked up cat. The bad thing about that was 3 straight days of getting my ass kicked in school because the makeup didn't wear off. It didn't wash off. But I did see psychiatrists when I was in the Army. And it was funny because the first 2 psychiatrists that I saw ended up having to see other psychiatrists. I didn't know that if a psychiatrist asks you a question, that you can't reply with a question. You're not supposed to. I didn't know that. They'd ask me questions like, "Do you have any issues?" And I'd look at them, "No, do you?" "No, you have to answer I did answer your question. Unfortunately, it was with a question." So, now, and like I said, the first 2 went to see psychiatrists. The third one not only pulled me off the road. I was an MP in the Army, military police. Not only had me pulled off the road, but he thought I was going to do something stupid, which, forgetting to unlock the steering column on a Jeep, I guess that counts as being stupid or doing something stupid. He also suggested they give me an early discharge. Well, I was getting an early discharge anyways because I had family issues at home. So someone had to take care of my grandmother, my mother wasn't around, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So that was cool. But other shit that's happened to me in my life was high school. I never went to my senior prom. For the simple fact, I wouldn't rat out the 4 guys that put the Volkswagen Bug on the cafeteria patio. I knew who they were, but I am not a rat. I was a cat once, but I am not a rat. Let's see. I used to work in a casket factory. Now that could really screw some people's heads up, especially when they send a casket back with a dead body in it. It was Malcolm X. We did Malcolm X's casket. $10,000 for that casket. There was a little scratch on it. They wanted a brand new casket. Him put in a brand new casket. No, we just fixed the scratch. Took about 2 days, and thank God for formaldehyde. Otherwise, that guy would have been stinking up the place. Yeah. And at lunch break, I used to sleep in caskets. We got an hour lunch. I figured that there's no place to sleep, and they had like little foam mattresses in them. So I figured, what the hell? I just had to make sure I take the tops off. I knew how to take the tops off, so I popped them off and took a nap. I hid behind a bunch of others, and they didn't care. Let me think what else. One time, one of my summer jobs was working in a casket factory too, and I used to clean the stands that the caskets on, which is ironically enough is called beers. And after work, I would go have quite a few of them because of working in that place. And one day, I was cleaning the beers, and because it was a hot day, no air conditioning was off, I decided to take a nap behind one of the caskets on the floor. I start hearing noises. I look around, I don't see anybody, I still keep hearing noises. I'm like, what the fuck? So finally, I snuck out. The sales manager was bringing customers through, talking to them. Like I said, I had woken up hearing noises. I didn't know, it was mumbles basically. I guess they were practicing being polite because they wanted to pretend there were dead bodies in the caskets. I don't know. But it was pretty cool. And then I helped on deliveries a couple times. I helped deliver his casket to a funeral home on Devon, Weinstein and Sons, or no, Weinstein Brothers. Walk in, I happen to walk past the embalming room. There's a body in there. I stop, just check it out. The body sat up. Yeah. They hadn't cut tendons yet. Nothing. I freaked. I jumped back in the truck, locked the doors, rolled the windows up, locked the doors. The driver, after the delivery is over, the driver comes out, knocking on the window, let me in. We gotta get back. It's like, I ain't opening the fucking doors. And he looked at me and says, let me in the fucking cab. No. He pulled a fucking gun. He was gonna shoot the glass out of the windows. I didn't know he had a gun on him. So I found, okay, fine, get in the cab, let's get back. So we got back, but some of the stuff that happens in places you work, it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I used to work at I don't know if any of you remember Chicken Unlimited?
I do.
Who does?
The black guy.
Okay. That sounded racist, if I might say. But all the chicken that they didn't sell, they put it in a freezer and they threw it out the next day. Well, at the end of my shift, because I was hungry, I was actually eating this chicken. It wasn't quite frozen enough, but I figured, what the hell? It's not gonna go to waste. They caught me eating it and they let me go, which sucked. So yeah, I mean, talk about therapy, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, and if you're depressed, ask yourself why you're depressed. I mean, I could ask the one reason I can say I'm depressed, my son's a freeloader. And a good example about him is he got busted in Indiana a couple years ago for having 0.03 grams of weed. Now, from what I understand, that's less than a joint, or a real skinny joint. I don't smoke pot myself, as you can see. But to this day, he's still, after spending 18 hours in lockup, to this day, he still will not eat an egg salad sandwich. Yeah. We went to court a couple months later, and the bailiff told everybody not involved with the case they had to wait out in the hallway. Number one, he didn't say please or thank you. Number two, that's my son, so I'm involved. I waited in the back row, 5 rows behind. I guess there were killers, meth dealers, and whatever else in orange jumpsuits chained together. They called my son up, and in the back of my mind, I'm picturing him crawling up to the judge. Please don't put me in jail with Bubba. I can't afford to buy him cigarettes so he doesn't ring me in the ass. As it was, they gave him a $350 fine, guess who paid it, and told him if he had to stay out of trouble in Indiana for 1 year. I paid the fine. We walked out of the courtroom. The only thing he said to me as soon as we walked out was, "I'm never fucking coming back to Indiana." He actually went back 8 months later to visit his girlfriend down there. Thank you very much. My name is Phil Burns.
Keeping over Phil Burns, everybody, with the most unexpected Malcolm X joke of all time. That wasn't like the heart of the joke, but I was like, is this a Malcolm X joke? Is this a casket Malcolm X joke? There's a lot of ways that could have went, and it didn't go most of those ways. It could have gotten super weird, and I think we should all applaud for the fact that it didn't get that far. Well, I mean, he was one of the more militant African American activists in the civil rights movement. Anyway, it's kind of weird if an old white guy is talking about him dying. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road. But I took us there. But we did, because I'm an irresponsible host. So I don't know how to protect my own show. My children are gonna get kidnapped easily. All right, put your hands together for the next comic coming to the stage, Oscar Carvajal. All right.
How's everyone doing? Everyone's still in there? Any problem if I do myself from right here? Any problem? No? Alright, you guys heard that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? You guys know that saying? Like, that saying doesn't really work when you get hit by a bus though, does it? Like, I always thought like if that bus doesn't kill you, it's not gonna make you stronger. Like, it'll make you paralyzed if it makes you anything, you know? Like, I never heard of a guy who could only bench press 100 pounds, and then the next day he could bench press 200, and the only thing he did in between those 2 days was get hit by a bus. You know, I never heard of that happening. I don't know what I'm saying. So as a comedian, growing up, I admire a lot of Jewish comedians. Like, I thought they were the best growing up, and like, I can't do voice impressions, but I would like to say that I could figure out what my favorite comedians growing up would say or would do if they had been in the Holocaust. My favorite Jewish comedians, right? Like for example, I think Jerry Seinfeld would say something like, "No one is camping. People are too tense to concentrate. Why do they call these a concentration camps?" You know? What's the deal with Auschwitz food? You know? I couldn't pronounce Auschwitz till today. I asked the guy like 3 times how to pronounce it, by the way. And then like Woody Allen would just like hang out, stalking out, seeing which children are being left orphaned, so he can have sex with them when they grow up. I don't know. So I was born in the South, Texas. Anyone Texas? No? Oh, I was actually born a little south of Texas, like in that whole other country over there. But I grew up in Chicago. Most comedians that do come like here in Chicago, they're not from Chicago. I actually grew up in Chicago, and now the neighborhood where I grew up at, it's not like a super bad neighborhood, but there's gangs there. There's a lot of gangs, and like it's like a mainly Mexican neighborhood. Though there's a lot of Puerto Ricans too, a lot of Central Americans, and anytime you get this combination of people living together, you're gonna have gangs. And that's just the fact that I can say because I'm Mexican. If you guys say it, you guys would be racist. That's that good old Mexican privilege everyone's always talking about, you know? But, so, not too long ago, I was waiting for the bus in that neighborhood where I grew up at, and it was 1 a.m., it was late, and I was the only one at the bus stop, and this car full of gangbangers pulls up next to me, and they had a red light and everything. So they start yelling shit that gangbangers, I don't know if you ever been in this situation, but gangbangers start yelling shit like hey, they pull out the window down, like, "Hey, what's up, nigga, what you is, dude? Like, we maniacs, dude, like fuck Pachucos, whatever," right? I guess I was in the Pachuco block in particular, and like I'm too old and too accustomed to these situations that I'm just like, you know what, guys, I don't gangbang, you guys got the wrong guy, like, that's it, you know? And they got a green line, surprisingly, they start pulling away. But as they're pulling away, a guy just starts yelling from the car, he starts yelling like, "Remember my face, dude, remember my face, remember my face." Like, that's all he yelled, right? Until this day, I'm still like, remember my face, like, you know, like, what purpose would it serve for me to remember this guy's face, you know? Like, am I gonna regret not remembering his face? Like, am I gonna be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire one day, and they're gonna be like, "For the $1 million, which of these 4 faces did you encounter at the bus stop that night?" And I'm like, oh, man, I wish I would remember the guy's face, or like, but what would cause him to yell that though? Like, is he in his room moping at nights? Like, no one ever remembers my face, man. I robbed a lady once. The police picked me up. She didn't even recognize me in the lineup. She picked the wrong guy. She didn't even remember my face. So Ebola's still killing a lot of people. That's still happening. That's still happening. But like Americans, like they only cared about Ebola like that 2 to like 3 week period when it was coming here. But like after that, they stopped caring. But it's still a problem. Research it. It's still a problem. And like it actually rose to the #2 killer of Africans. #1 still being Ferguson policeman. Still #1. Like, so it's gonna get real uncomfortable here, right? Like, I actually googled the hiring process for the Ferguson policeman, and it turns out you have to be a racist to even be considered for a job. Like you have to be like, you hand in the application and they do an extensive background check, and something has to come up. Anything like they'll be like, when he was 16, he wore his blackface for Halloween. Bring him in for the interview. Bring him in. And I hear that one of the questions in the interview process is, how many times do you yell the N-word at the TV when Obama comes on? You know, if it's less than 3, you're not getting the job. So if you only yell it twice on the TV, you're not getting the job. You can forget about it. And then if you are one of the lucky few who do get hired for the Ferguson Police Department, I hear that for the training video, in the training process, they just played the Rodney King video over and over again. You're literally supposed to be doing. And then I'm not a fan of police, and some people like police. I don't like police, but I think it just depends on everyone's interactions that they had throughout their life with the police. You know, like growing up Mexican in Chicago, I just always felt like they never treated us with justice. I felt like they treated us bad, they never treated us fairly. But I hear it was even worse. Like I hear like in the early 90s in Chicago, like when Chicago had twice the murders it has today, like if you would report like a shooting in progress from a really bad neighborhood, police would intentionally show up late for 2 reasons. One, because it was dangerous. They didn't want to cut in the crossfire and they were a little scared. And 2, because they just didn't really care about these people. So I could just imagine like someone like in the early 90s in Chicago, like on a Sunday night reporting a shooting, like let's say on the Cabrini Green project. They'll be like, yeah, there's a shooting in progress. And the police would be like, well, call back in 10 minutes and tell us how it went. I got my money on the GDs, but hey, the bicycles happen to put up a good fight, so it should be an interesting one. We'll send someone over later on tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Tuesday for sure. Someone should be in that general area. So I grew up Catholic, and when I was younger, my parents used to take me to church every Sunday. Like I used to go to church every Sunday. Then as I grew older, they stopped taking me, and then I became an atheist. So I thought I was done with church on Sundays. Like I'm done with church, right? And but nowadays I wake up Sunday mornings like craving a beer for the hangover, and liquor stores don't open till 11, but mass is at 9. So there I am at church every Sunday, getting drunk off the blood of Christ. Let me see if I can get translation to this correctly so I can teach you guys a little Spanish. In Spanish, there's a saying that says you can only get a nail out with another nail, which carpentry-wise is already wrong, but like, what this saying, it's a love saying. What this saying means is you can only get over someone with someone else. Now, there's this real popular singer called Romeo who he's the most popular singer in Spanish, who has this song that says on the radio, it says, they say you can only get a nail out with another nail, but that's not true, that's just a rhyme. And I'm always like, hold on, Romeo, like that's not even a rhyme, dude, that's the same word. Like, that's like saying, I know what rhymes with orange, you know. That's all I have planned for tonight. Thank you very much, man.
Keep it going for Oscar Carvajal, everybody. Killing it up here. Keep that energy hot for your next comedian coming to the stage right now, Alan Grafton. You all right? All right, Murphy's okay. Yeah, everyone can still hear me in 240 Lounge, except for this mic stand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 240 Lounge, thanks for having me. Oh man, great times. I love doing stand-up comedy in front of people, so I'm just happy there's people here. I remember before I got into comedy, I used to want to get into marketing and advertising, because I get good ideas for that kind of stuff all the time. They just hit me out of nowhere. But the other day I was at my house, I was making some lunch, had a big bowl of SpaghettiOs, and as I was carrying it to the microwave, it slips right out of my hands, drops all over the floor. I was like, oh, fucking shit! And then it hit me, that is such a better slogan than uh-oh SpaghettiOs. You should just use that. Oh man,
I've had fun watching everybody's comedy so far. I've been watching basketball too. There was a Cleveland Cavaliers game on before. Yeah, if that's your team, you can like them. I like them, all right. I saw the Cavs Bulls game earlier this year, season opener. I wish LeBron would have went to a different team, though. I understand it's his hometown team, that's where he wants to go, but I wanted to see LeBron go to like the shittiest basketball team he could think of and just turn him around and make him great. That's why I wanted LeBron James to play for the Washington Generals. If you're not a sports fan, I'll explain it. The Washington Generals are the team that always plays against and loses to the Harlem Globetrotters. And those cocky bastards need to be taken down a peg. LeBron's the man to do it. Just jam on him. Of course, the big sports thing was the Super Bowl this last weekend. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl? Yeah. Katy Perry rode like a 50-foot tiger or lion, whatever that was. That was an awesome halftime show. I thought she did a good job. I can tell you the worst band to ever play the Super Bowl halftime show, the worst one, it's got to be the Black Eyed Peas, right? Because who sings Let's Get It Started when you're already halfway through the fucking game? That's retarded. But I'm glad the NFL season is over. It was a rough season. There's a lot of negative press and stories, you know, Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, and people were really freaking out about it for a while. People were acting like it's the worst thing that a talented football player has ever done, and people completely forget that O.J. Simpson was a way more talented football player than both of those guys, right? O.J. Simpson was really good at football. Probably better at domestic violence, too, if we're keeping tallies. Hall of Fame. Oh man, Adrian Peterson wasn't that bad. He whipped his kids too hard. And some people think you should be allowed to whip your kids. I don't know. There's a parent of the year back there. I don't know. My parents used to whip me. I got spankings, whoopings, whatever you want to call it. I got it with a belt. But a lot of times people think like you're either tough and you hit your kids, or you're like liberal and you put your kids into timeout. And it's not one or the other, because I got both. I would be sentenced to timeout. At the conclusion of timeout, I would get hit with a belt. And I just think that's kind of fucked up. You know, I asked my mom when I was an adult, I'm like, why did you give me both? That's not fair. And she's like, well, Alan, timeout isn't for the children. Timeout is for the parent. I needed to clear my head before I kicked your ass. I don't want to be hitting you when I'm all angry. I'm like, that's a really fucked up psychology on raising children, but it is intriguing. I was probably more upset by her collection of like men's belts, like these giant thick leather things. I'm just like, did you get all of Dad's belts in the divorce? Like, what is this? Come on. So the Patriots won the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's who you guys are rooting for. A lot of Patriots fans have took up the slogan "Boston Strong," relating to the Boston bombing. They've used that to like rally around their football team because this is the first championship they've won since the bombing. So they're Boston Strong, which I think is really fucked up because former Patriots player Aaron Hernandez has murdered just as many people as the Boston Bombers. They're both at 3 people. How's that, Patriot fans? Now, the Boston Bombers killed people because of a religious jihad against infidels. Aaron Hernandez murdered 3 people because they spilled a drink on him at a nightclub. I don't want to say which one makes more sense, but, you know, at least it's an ethos, right? Right, Rick? All right, that's... Oh, man. Okay, let's talk about other topics tonight. Thomas, what bar in Kansas City is your bar that people's make the music?
It was Daddy's in the Back Door.
Daddy's in the Back Door? And I thought I knew my Kansas City gay bar, so I guess is it a gay bar?
Yeah, it was
Oh, okay. I only know like Missy B's in Kansas City. You ever been there? Okay. It's a kick-ass drag bar if you guys ever go to Kansas City. That's my hometown. I grew up on the Kansas side, and Kansas just got gay marriage this year, which is crazy. It's awesome. But it's crazy that a conservative place like Kansas even got it, because a lot of people don't know that Kansas is the home of the Westboro Baptist Church. They're based out of Topeka, Kansas. And what people don't realize is that in the state of Kansas, everything is a close drive for them, so they protest a lot of lower level shit. And I grew up in that state, and I remember the very first time I saw the Westboro Baptist Church, I was on a field trip to a museum in Topeka, and they protested my field trip. And I remember we go inside the museum, we come out, we come to our buses, and there they are with these signs that say like terrible things on them. And I just wanted to walk up to them, even at that age, and just be like, you know, you shouldn't be here. You know, just because you heard some 6th graders say that museums were gay, that is not at all what we meant. That's a miscommunication of the highest level. But no, I'm all for equality rights for all. Bruce Jenner will be. No, it hasn't come out officially, but he's going to come out soon and be open about his transformation to be a transgender person, and I think that's great. Transgender rights are important. Who you are on the inside might not match who you are on the outside, and it shouldn't be silly or funny. We should support Bruce Jenner and anybody else that wants to do this. And it's a weird thing to talk about in comedy, but it is personal for me. I've been opening up more about it. And I'll just tell you guys, I was born differently than how you see me now. And I had to get a surgery to become this way. And it wasn't an easy choice to make, but I'm thankful that I did it, that I had the courage to do it, because it's given me more confidence in myself, a belief in myself that I can get up in front of people and do stand-up comedy. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys, I was born nearsighted. And thanks. And my whole life, society wanted me to do nearsighted things, you know? They wanted me to sit near when I wanted to sit far. Didn't want to do it. They wanted me to wear glasses. Ugh. So when I saved up my money, became an adult, I got it done. I got LASIK eyeball surgery. And proud to say that I'm a post-op asexual. Things have never been better. I've stood up for the rights of a lot of people here tonight. I want to talk about a stereotype against white people right now that I hear a lot. I hear that a lot of white people have a gluten allergy. I hear this a lot from other people. They're like, yeah, these white people always have a gluten allergy. I think that's a fucked up stereotype, because as white people, we can't be crackers and be allergic to crackers. It makes no sense. All right, have a good night. Thank you very much.
Keeping on for Alan Grafton, everybody, coming in hot with the white race jokes. Coming to the stage next, a very funny man, I assume, because I met him tonight. Put your hands together for Aaron Foster. Coming on the stage right now.
What's up? How are you guys? Great. Just want to say that situation with Bruce Jenner, we all know that's a side effect of dating a Kardashian, right? You can see the look in his eyes. He's not there anymore. He wasn't born gay, he was made gay. And that does happen, goddammit. Anyway, glad to be here. On the other side of that wall is the faint smell of a lot of abortions. I actually been in there a lot of times. I really don't like it. I'm a fan of like darker strip clubs. Like anybody in here ever been to the strip club out south in Harvey named Arnie's? You ever been to Arnie's?
Yeah.
You been to Arnie's? You have? Okay, yeah, you a black cat. You just hiding. I seen you walk in there. Arnie's is the type of strip club where you can go in there and pay $3 to get a pregnant stripper. You know what I mean? It's am I right? This chick, I was in there, she was so pregnant the baby was crying during my lap dance. And if you too slow with the money, he'll be like, give me the money! Give me the money! Like, hold on, lady, your baby can't put his hand out your pussy for 4 more months. You know? What the hell you going? What's happening to this world? I like drinking, y'all. I hope y'all drinking y'all ass off in this. They got $3 beer. I ain't seen that shit in like 2-3 years. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy. It's a great thing. I'm the type of motherfucker that gets so drunk, and y'all might go with me on this. You ever been so drunk when you go home you have to piss in the tub? You ever been that drunk? You You like, God damn, this toilet is too small. Shit. Turn towards the wall. This is all over the wall. That's the type of shit. That's what I go through. You know, that's my life. You know? I almost caught a DUI fucking around a little further up the street, not real close to here, but that way. And this cop pulled me over. He was like, blowing this tube. You blowing this tube. If you blow over a .08, you going to jail. .08. I stepped up to his tube and blew a mortgage rate on his ass. Motherfucker's like, 7.5? Your whole family gotta go to jail, man. Because it's true. I was a bad kid, man. I was one of them kids that, you know, when you were in little grammar school and stuff, I was one of them kids that used to chase girls with dookie on a stick. Nobody, I chase them, you know what I mean? I put it in, stop it. Shut up before I put this dookie on your dress. Now you gonna mess up my dress. That's right, let me see your titties. You know what I mean? You gotta have goals in life, gentlemen. Goals, that's what you gotta have. You know, believe it or not, I'm single. You know what I mean? Dating is getting very strange. Well, it's been very strange for me. One of the main problems is I like all types of girls, but I seem to get crazy. You know, that's the best kind for me. I love it. Crazy is the best pussy. That's how it works. That's the definition. And in the black community, we have these things that girls go through because their lives is crazy called rest in peace tattoos. You ever seen this? Rest in peace tattoo is a tattoo of the girl who had a family member or a close friend that died. It's got a face on it, then it's got the date of the person living and when they died, and it might have a little snappy saying that the person lived by, like GD to the world blow up or something, you know what I mean? To have that over the face, you know. But this shit is making dating real weird because I'm sitting there, I date this girl, we go back to her crib, and I'm spanking ass and pulling hair like I do, you know what I'm saying? I'm digging it out. And I look on her back and start recognizing motherfuckers. I'm like, damn, you used to be related to Lily? Oh shit, I graduated with that chick right there. She was fine as hell. Damn, I was wondering what happened to her, you know what I mean? Damn, your auntie was Lena? Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't know she was dead. You know what I mean? I get too deep into it. I'm like, hold on, bitch, that's me. What the fuck? You got fortune pussy? This is not going well for me, huh? I'm about to die? Okay, you telling me I'm dying, huh? Crazy shit. Speaking of, I was talking about, you know, shit that happened in my life. Everybody in here is on Facebook. Do you know, in my lifetime, I've only had VD once. The girl in my high school that gave me VD tried to friendship me on Facebook. I'm like, bitch, this is not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? I'm not your friend. You are not a friend to me. That's what I'm trying to say. You did me wrong. I had to take penicillin for 2 weeks off of that shit. We will never talk in person, you know what I mean? It's one of them crazy things, man, I dated in these. This one girl shocked me one time. She said to me, I was trying to get with her, and she was like, look, if you don't bring me chocolate, I'm not gonna ever give you a blowjob. It's like, if I don't bring you chocolate, you're never gonna give me a blowjob. I showed up to her house with one of them fondue fountains, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you finna eat all this chocolate. I was just like, she's still eating chocolate. Now I came in here to do some other stuff. Like I met this girl, man. I go out, I meet a girl, I met her. She talked me into going back to her house. She lived in Gary, Indiana. Y'all know where that place is? It's really fucked up. We drive up to an abandoned house. I'm like, we go, there's boards and shit over here. I walk up to her, we gotta nail and hammer our way in the house. Her kids already in there and stuff. Mommy, you home? Yay! We nail out. She's like, hold on, let me close the door. Oh shit. Going there, I get friendly with her kids because it's nice inside. It's really a nice house. Somebody just didn't pay for it. I'm talking to her little daughter, I'm like, oh, you cute, how you doing? She's like, hi, my name is Alexis. You know, I get to know her. I'm like, Alexis, Christmas is coming up. What do you want for Christmas? She said, I want my own hammer. Life is not gonna go well for Alexis. I meet girls with all types of crazy shit that go on, like this girl I was dating, she couldn't cook. Girls in there could cook, make like 2-3 claps. I only got 2-3 claps. And I wanted, nope, you can't cook that well. This chick I was dating, I caught her in the kitchen boiling a bag of popcorn. She was like, it might take a little while. I was like, forever. We're gonna finish 3 movies by the time this shit get down to the bottom. What you gonna do? Let's see. Oh, here's something I wanted to, I never did this before on stage. Now, believe it or not, y'all looking at a man who was abused by his ex-wife. When we were together, because I'm a gentleman, I don't hit women, but that's the wrong thing to tell a woman. You know what I mean? Because she abused the shit out of that. You know what I mean? She knew I wasn't gonna hit her, so every time I did something, she punching me, scratching, you know, all of that shit. And then finally, one day, I was like, fuck that, you're not gonna hit me no more. And she hit me, but she was only like, she weighed about 110 pounds, little thing. So I grabbed her hands and I held her. And ooh, that made her mad. That made her mad. But I held her so she couldn't do anything, right? Fight was over, we went home. We went to bed. I woke up, next day, I get up, and she was so evil and mean. And I didn't know it at the time because you in love and everything, but she fucked up my next day of work because she had pissed in my shoes. So I go to work, yeah, I didn't know, you know what I mean? Later she was like, yeah, motherfucker, that's why I pissed in your shoes. I was like, that's why my shit was soggy? I couldn't understand, you know. It's a true story. You hit me with the light, does that mean it's over or I got a second?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay, I don't know.
Quick to go.
I'm breaking shit. I don't wanna start a joke that's too long, so I'm gonna
Do it.
I can do it?
Just do it. Screw him.
Alright. No, I don't wanna I'm gonna respect y'all mic. Alright, check it out. So I'm driving down 39th in Indiana one time. And if you know on the south side, motherfuckers are, you know, poor, so they on a hustle at all times. I pull up to the light and I'm on a date with this girl that I just kind of met and I wanted to fuck, so I'm trying to impress her. And this dude knocked on my window. I rolled down the window because, you know, he was a hype. I could whip his ass with no problem at all. You know? He was like, hey, dude, I see you got your girl in the car. You want to buy these $5 circus tickets? Like, you know, I'm like, $5 circus tickets? I'm like, Ringling Brothers, that's like $60, $70, man. What? He's like, no, it ain't Ringling Brothers, man. You know, you want to buy these tickets? I said, Universal Soul Circus? That's the black circus. He's like, no, because those are like $45, you know. He's like, no, this is Unisol Circus. Unisol Circus, the little boy in the back seat, like heard circus, circus, we going circus. I'm like, shit, I gotta buy these damn tickets, cause I ain't gonna get no pussy if this little boy start crying. That's how shit work in the world, you know. So I get a motherfucker the $15, and we drive down, I look on the tickets, it's a motherfucking house address on these tickets. And when we drive up to somebody's house. Now I'm thinking, okay, it's a circus. We should go in the back. It should be a tent or something. I get out, the little boy, circus. I walk up to the door with the girl and the boy, ring the door, boom, boom. Dude come down in a robe. He opened the door. He like, what you want? I said, hey man, we bought these circus tickets. Do you know this motherfucker said, Mama, somebody came for the show. These motherfuckers have made the circus in their house. And it was amazing too. It was really cool. You're like, damn, they really hustling in the projects over here. These motherfuckers made the circus in their house. Real circus. And every room was like a circus act, but it was ghetto-fied. You know what I mean? It was like, you know how in the circus they have the man eating lions and the guy be in there? Well, this dude walked us over to the first door. He opened up the door and it's an outside gate, a silver gate. He was like, this act is called the drug dealer's pit bulls. You know? You kick the gate and them dogs run up like, this is inside the house. This is in the house. We're like, oh shit, the little boy like, they are mean. You know what I'm like, yeah, they mean as hell. Like shit, we better be careful. You know, he closed the door, they go sit, he telling them sit, jump. You know, shit that we don't really give a fuck about. That's supposed to be the trick. Look, he can sit down, sit. We go next. The next one, you know, like they'll have, you know, the incredible something man, you know. In this second room, some shit, I don't know if you, everybody got an uncle like this, so I'm just gonna say, on the door it said, the incredible lazy nigga. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker just stood there, you know, you open the door, he's sitting there watching TV, his room filthy than a motherfucker, you know what I mean? There's shit all around the floor. He like, this what you do. He pulled a dollar bill out and threw the dollar bill at the motherfucker. It fell right down. Little boy like, he lazy than a motherfucker. Like, stop cursing, boy, your mama right there. The last room, man, we go over to it. And you know how at the circus they have these juggling dudes, they juggle and shit, they juggle like knives and shit. This dude was like the incredible pig feet juggler. And he would juggle them pig feet. You know, he was one of them old uncles that don't have no front teeth and shit. He'll bite, juggling pig feet, then he'll bite the knuckle and show you the knuckle of the pig feet. Ta-da! Like, this shit was worth $5. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's my time, man. I'm here to Foster, y'all.
Keep it going for Aaron Foster, everybody. Because that is how we fucking do it at Hound Dog. If you kill it, we just don't care how long you go. You can, if you're making people laugh, fuck it. It's a great time. Next guy's gonna make you laugh because he's a real funny guy. Put your hands together for Donald Gibson, everybody.
I believe the show just peaked. This is the beginning of the descent. I've been getting into prank calling my grandma. If you don't do that, do that. She's 81. She's proud and wise. She's the only person I know without caller ID. It's easy too. I just call her up and go, stand by for savings. She'll stay on the phone for 15 months. Hello? This is stupid. That's how I keep my chi level. The world around me has gotten too angry. Last summer I was riding my bike, harmlessly, whimsically. A man drove by me and yelled out the window. He went, "Fag!" I can't imagine the rage that man must keep inside of him all the time. He was on the opposite side of the road. I wasn't involved in his life at all. And he was alone in the car. No friend to impress. Just driving in silence. Saw me and was like, oh, hell no. Not on my watch, sweetheart. Your phone's ringing.
Thank you, Johnny.
Time. I stopped when it happened to process the being called a fag. And a hobo at a gas station went, "Hey,
Was that your dad? I'm like 70% sure it was not. But that's a bad word. It's hurtful, and you shouldn't use it. Hobo is a terrible word. It's a bullshit romantic word. It makes people forget how much it sucks to be homeless. What do you think of when you think of a hobo? Just a bearded, jovial tramp? Hopping trains, having adventures, playing a harmonica? There's a homeless man from my hometown. He'd been arrested 4 times for trying to sodomize cats. That's not romantic. That's crazy. You understand how easy it ought to be to get away with raping a cat? I'm not saying it's okay, but they can't even describe you to the police. Any 4 walls of shelter and you're scot-free, Johnny. But it's no dice when you gotta do your feline fornicating in front of the post office. Wish I hadn't done that. That's too much. What I'm saying, this guy's not out under the open stars cooking up a can of beans. This dude was in the paper for wearing a Skittles wrapper as a cocksock into the Target. I'm doing good though. Had some big investments come through this week. I cashed in my 401k. In slick accountant jargon, they're calling that a shitty life decision. I don't care. I want stuff now. I'm completely at ease with the fact that Don now is perpetually fucking over Don in the future. At any given moment, I'm doing something that me later is gonna want to punch me in the dick for. Right now, there's so many sit-ups I'm not doing so that I can cultivate this pasty, cookie doughy exterior. So future me gets to try to get laid with a midsection that looks like a yeast infection. I don't know what a yeast infection looks like. How long can I keep doing this before it weirds you out? Make some eye contact with the guy that's got a better beard than me. Oh, yeah. How do you get the sides to fill in so good, man? They just won't do it for me.
Takes time.
Oh, dude. I ain't got time. The 65-year-old me is gonna be into this 401k idea when he gets to work part-time at Arby's to make ends meet. But me now is gonna get a tattoo. So that when old guy me is working a deep fryer, he can look down at his saggy titty and be like, totally worth it. In the future, old men will be allowed to be shirtless at Arby's. Brace yourself for that. I expected to be lighted by now, so I'm just going to meander into something else. No, don't rush up and do it now. It's too fucking late. When I was in first grade, Ronald McDonald came to my elementary school. He was giving a speech on poisons in the household.
I don't know why the McDonald's clown was giving a speech on poisons in the household. I was in first grade, I don't question shit. But that was a celebrity. That was big shit. That was the light. So they got everybody into the gym and they had a list of people he was gonna call to help, and the first person he called was me. That was the most important moment of my life. And I walked up to the front and I was wobbly-kneed and I was red-faced and I looked up and he's 1,000 fucking feet tall. This is demigod, snacks. And he put his hand on my shoulder and I pissed in my pants immediately, just bad. This cacophony of juice box and chocolate milk. And he noticed, Ronald could tell, but he kept going, because that's the kind of performer Ronald McDonald is. And he pulls out a beaker full of blue liquid with a skull and crossbones on it and says, "Don, would you drink this?" I should make clear, I would have done anything that man asked me to do. I was ripe for molestation. So yeah. And the look on his face had changed. You couldn't tell from the crowd because he wears a painted smile. Not in like the metaphorical Smokey Robinson sense, but he wears a painted smile. And the look went from joyful to, oh, this one's retarded. So they shuffled me off back to the crowd where they figured out I pissed in my pants, and the rest of my first grade year was probably the cornerstone for who I am now. And that was probably why I never got laid in elementary school. I'm Donald Gibson, thank you.
Donald Gibson, everybody. Keep it going for him. Coming to the stage next is a real treat for everyone. He is one of the producers of Hound Dog Comedy at 240 Lounge. I don't know if you've heard of it, but you should check it out if you haven't. It's the show that we're doing right now, and this is the place where we're in. So put your hands together for a very funny man, Thomas Bottoms, coming to the stage.
Give a round of applause for Murphy Row, everybody. Put your hands together, thank you. Are we drinking tonight? Are we drinking? Life is too short to be sober. We're drinking. I'm feeling my age this week. I am. Anyone else feeling their age? Yeah, I'm one of those people who knew that Missy Elliott was not a new artist Katy Perry was introducing at the Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know, I was watching the Katy Perry where she was dancing with the sharks, and I'm like, I am not that gay. I mean, I played with Barbies as a kid. I still want a black Barbie. I own that. I am still not that gay. I don't think I need to have the gay talk, and if you're feeling uncomfortable, don't worry. They've kept me back there in the closet the whole night. I'm the one who keeps controlling the music. It's okay. It's all, but you know, I have to say, DeLorean, that little closet room, if you threw a rug on the floor, you could charge like $1,000 for that apartment. It really, yeah. My parents I was like 23 before I realized walk-in closets weren't guest bedrooms. I didn't know that. I thought everyone slept underneath their clothes. Goodness, do we have to have the gay talk? I mean, some gays can pass. I'm a feather boa away from being on RuPaul's Drag Race. We're good, okay? And ma'am, just to calm your nerves, okay? I do not know your gay cousin in South Carolina, okay? There is no 6 degrees of penetration. And yes, I was sent to a Cure the Gay camp. I'm still gay. I'm sorry, I spent 6 months kneeling with my priest. I'm still gay, but now I have an overbite. So we survived the blizzard. Yay, yay. I've always been the prude of my group. Anyone else? No one ever admits to being the prude. I am the prude. Like when there's the smart one, pretty one, and then there's the hoe, I'm always the smart one. I get a lot less STDs that way. It really is. I tried to talk to one of my hoish friends, and he pissed me off this week, and I finally, I lost it. I was like, you are the Chicago Blizzard. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I was like, you get 19 inches in 24 hours. And then he was dumb, and because again, I'm the smart one, he's like, no man has 19 inches. 1 + 2 + 3. I was the prude in my group. Like Aaron mentioned, he got an STD in college and high school. Oh, you started young. All right. I was one of those, like, I'm a good, giving, caring, loving person, so I let my college roommate use my computer. He looked at the porn, and my computer is the one that got the virus. And we also shared clothes, so he had a lot of sex, and I'm the one who dealt with the crabs. Oh, it's okay. I am feeling my age. I just saw recent pictures of Justin Bieber, and they photoshopped him to look like a man. I'm the only one, no. Which is good, because he used to look like Linda Blair from The Exorcist. I thought that was a Hollywood remake waiting to happen, because they've remade everything. They remade Grumpy Old Men. It was called Sex and the City. Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker, she wants an Academy Award. There's going to be Sex and the City, No Country for Old Women. Sex and the City, There Will Not Be Blood. As a white guy, I am feeling some guilt. I'm glad it's 2015. I am so glad it's 2015, because in 2014, as a white guy, I felt like I needed to apologize, especially for Iggy Azalea. I own it, whatever. I haven't felt that bad to be white since Vanilla Ice. And no, I'm not being mean to Iggy Azalea because she's a white rapper or she's a white woman rapper. I mean, one of my first rap experiences was Deborah Harry of Blondie singing Rapture, okay? And in Deborah Harry's defense against Iggy, at least Debbie can sing her own choruses. And I mean, Iggy says she's like, first things first, I'm the realist. It's like, Iggy, you're as real as Milli Vanilli and only half as attractive. Oh goodness, what's going on with my life? I'm glad it's the new year. I finally started my diet. I had the kick in my ass that I needed last night. I was watching television and on came My 600-Pound Life. When he drives through McDonald's and gets 12 Big Macs, suddenly it's like, I'm not hungry. When a woman is sitting on the toilet and washing herself with a rag on a stick, I'm not hungry. Because I gained some weight last year. I gained 25 pounds. Who knew you could have so much growth in a bad economy? But I'm going to lose the weight. I just wish there was an easier way. I mean, I'm trying a vegetarian diet. I've given up beef, pork, chicken. As a gay man, I never ate fish. But you know, I am jealous. I look at anorexics and think, oh God, if only I had that power, willpower. I look at bulimics and think, oh God, if only I had a gag reflex. I haven't played this game in a while. You guys want to play a game with me? Yeah. You want to play a game? It is called Ask the Gay. I am the gay. You ask me a question. In the past, I've been asked, Thomas, as a gay man, are you attracted to Dutch ovens? And I take offense to that because my father's Dutch and my mother's Jewish. I've also been asked, Thomas, as a gay, where's the weirdest place you've ever had sex? And that's easy for me to answer. a vagina. So I am the gay. Ask me a question. No. Yes, Phil Burns, you have a question for the gay.
Now that gay marriage is becoming legalized, will it bring new definition to the term fairy tale romance?
Now that gay marriage is legal, no, because fairy tales always end with a happily ever after. I've seen marriages. There's no happy ever after. I don't plan on getting gay married because I look like I've been gay divorced 3 times. I mean, I already feel like I'm a closet straight guy because I kept bringing my... Hold up. I kept bringing my boyfriend a drink, something sweet to put in his mouth, and then I kept running back to my closet. Except I don't have a wife there to lie to. Any other questions for the gay? Yes, ma'am. You have a question for the gay.
I do. Have you ever had a cock in your ass and let him come in your ass and waited till you farted to let the cum come in?
Honey, you might like the kind of music where the trumpets blare, but I keep the sound effects in the bathroom with the door closed. No, as a gay man, I never do that. Oh, hell no. Like, I go out to lunch at work, and I make sure I do not go to Taco Bell if I'm expected to perform later on that evening, okay? No. Any other questions for the gay?
Right here.
Yes, sir. Aaron Foster has a question for the gay.
Like, when you are standing near a bathroom and you see a dude walk out who didn't wash his hands, do you want to shake his hand?
To be brutally honest, I am one of those prude prissy bitches that if I go into the bathroom and I never come out, just assume I died. Do not go in there, do not see me on the toilet. If there are sound effects, that was music in a car passing. And I didn't want to shake that man's hand before he grabbed his own penis. I certainly don't want to shake his hand afterwards. And by the way, just because it's a bathroom and there are loose penises around does not mean I'm like, oh, opportunity. No, I go into the stall so I can play words with friends like a proper gay man. I'm Thomas Bottoms, thank you.
Keep it going for Thomas Bottoms, everybody. I've been watching Thomas do Ask the Gay for a while, and the questions have gotten super sophisticated. It's really quite a lot of fun. And man, I've done that. Super done that. All right, keep that energy going for your last comic of the night. Put your hands together for Rich Zito coming to the stage.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm going to inject a little heterosexual or asexual humor into the evening, I think. Do you want to ask the straight guy who doesn't really care? We're going to set some time aside at the end for that. So this is like, file this away under the sort of the unintentional, ironic lack of self-awareness thing, but when I left the house today, I realized I have 28 old episodes of Hoarders on my DVR. Undeleted. Save for later. My boss is he's a troublemaker. He's gotten in trouble. He got called into HR. And he's a smooth character, though. Like, he really is. Like, he's always hiring, attractive young women to work for him, and he gets in trouble for it. I think he straddles that line, But to be fair, like, I'm totally charmed by the guy, and like, he's got me fooled, And I actually, we were talking about it, and we realized like what he does is not really sexual harassment. he's so good at it, it's like sensual harassment. It's like, he's really, like, it's not dirty at all, really. But you know, like words, like the words don't really mean, no words really mean what we think they mean anymore, right? Like, I was watching the Super Bowl. I know you guys watch the Super Bowl. I was rooting for Seattle. I was. So that was a bad outcome for me. But at the end of the game, during the post game, these guys are like, I think it was Tom Brady, the quarterback, the MVP. He's like, this is one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Winning the Super Bowl was one of the most humbling experiences of his life. Now, I think, I mean, the guy went to Michigan, he's an educated guy, but I don't think he understands what the word humbling means. Humbling means, like, in fact, I think it means the opposite of what he thinks it means. Like, it doesn't mean awesome. Humbling is like striking out in t-ball. Or like asking your 11-year-old niece for a loan. Or being rejected for that loan. That's humbling. So I really don't understand like, where he's coming from. They don't throw a ticker tape parade for any of that stuff. You know, you don't get to hold a trophy. It's just, you just walk home and eat canned fruit cocktail. Alone. That's humbling. That's what humbling is. No, but seriously, people don't use words the way that they should be used. People just make shit up and want it to mean what they want it to mean. Like I was in a restaurant the other day, and well, first of all, by the way, I don't know if anybody work in the service industry or does currently work in the service other than DeLorean. Yeah. Okay, so you know, like Megan comes up, she comes striding up when we sit there. She's like, "My name's Megan. I'm going to be taking care of you today." That's a very bold statement, Megan. Megan, I don't know what you just signed up for something, kid. All right, Megan, we're in this together. Thanks for taking care of me. But then they bring the food and everything. We were catty corner, and so I got to watch this really obese guy just go to town. He was like eating. It's like he either wanted to win a contest or he's training for something. But he was just like going to. He had like 3 or 4 appetizers, onion rings, chili, and he's just eating everything, but just enjoying himself. And while I'm watching, and the busboy is watching too because he's waiting to clear plates, and I think and not to perpetuate stereotypes, the busboy was I think he was not a native English speaker. He was a Spanish guy, or Latino, and the waitress kind of swoops in to like take plates away, and he got really like possessive of what was on his plate, in front of him, and he's like, oh, his mouth so full of food. Well, I'm still working on that. And we've really mutated the meaning of the word work when we start talking about that as what that guy's doing as work. That's not what I mean. And the poor Pepe, the busboy, is watching this and being like he knows what work means, and then he hears the gringo say he's working, and you can just see the wheels turning in his head. Like that's not what the senor. No. But yeah, no. So I again, like basically, this is all the material that is labeled in my big file of people are full of shit when they say words, which I think is true. That's the name of it. That's the working title of the album. People are full of shit when they say words. You guys think? Yeah. For instance, I'm watching the television at late night, and there's an ad for Sarpino's Pizza. Sure, I'm hungry. Let's order it up. And as I'm typing in the thing, gosarpinos.com and the URL and everything, all that stuff, I put my credit card number in or PayPal or whatever. And then it says like accepted, and I'm like, sweet, it's on its way. And then it says, please print a copy of this for your records. Which immediately kind of gives me a complex because my records are really incomplete. I haven't been keeping I haven't been keeping the kind of records that Sarpinos expects me to keep. If I get audited about pizza, it's going to be a long, long day for me. Yeah, I mean, I want to comply. I want to do the right thing. I'll buy a filing cabinet if I need to. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get a filing cabinet and just fill it with Sarpino's receipts. I was on so late night again, staying up late. Now I'm eating my pizza, feeling bad about myself because I'm not keeping records, and I see this ad for a car commercial. I think it was Downers Grove Dodge. It was something that had like a nice ring to it like that, and the guy's like, they had a voiceover, and I think it was Mike Ditka, the Bears coach, former Bears coach, kind of a Chicago legend, the coach, right? And the guy's like, just go on down to Downers Grove Dodge, where we have blah, blah, blah Dodges. And when you come, make sure you tell them that Mike Ditka sent you. Well, I do what I'm told. So, since we're in comedy land, let's just assume I actually went to Downers Grove Dodge for the time being. Go to Downers Grove Dodge to ostensibly purchase an automobile. And I walk in, and there's a gentleman, a salesman, I presume, named Rod. Really, that's true. Rod comes up to me, kind of like glad hands me over, goes, "Hey, what can I do for you?" And I say, "Oh well, I'm not the kind of guy, Rod, to name drop. I don't want to. I mean, we just met you. I respect you. I respect your firm. I'm sure you sell a great automobile. I don't want to take advantage of this." Mike Ditka sent me. He didn't sell that car today. We came to terms, and I just left of my own volition, and that was the end. That was the end of the transaction. But that's the thing. That's the last thing. It's like they. I think I do stuff like that just in everyday life, and I think we all do maybe, like especially comics who are here, like where you play dumb, and then you realize that people can't tell. And no, really. And so I was on the L the other day on the Blue Line, and sometimes it gets stuck, and so the bell rings. It's like boom boom, doors closing, and then just when we think we're gonna start going again, it's like boom boom, doors closing. And so I was doing that for like a good minute and a half, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it kind of is. It's like 35 of those little announcements, right? And so I turned to this woman next to me. It's a crowded train. I turned to this woman next to me, and I'm like, boy, I bet that guy gets tired of saying doors closing. And this woman, God bless her heart, she says, "No, baby, that's a recording." Now, that was humbling. That's my time. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. It was awesome. Thank you, Richie.
Here you go for Rich Zito, everybody. Giving me a new career goal. I want to be a pizza auditor. That's what I want to be. All right, thank you guys so much for coming out to Hound Dog Comedy. Comics, please give our audience a big round of applause for hanging out and making this a great show. Thank you guys so much for coming. Give DeLorean a big round of applause, or better yet, give her a big tip. Either way, and thank you guys so much.